watching the Noble Farms YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Noble Farms again. I'm Jerry. Just a little, we're going out to the barn, heading to the barn to just feed the sheep, check on the sheep and the cows. So follow along and we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing here, how this all came about, and really what the plan is here. A lot have happened over the last few years. We purchased this farm here 8 years ago. Started out with nothing, only the house you see in the background. That was the only thing on this property, and from there we just added, I guess, a little bit of ambition, a little bit of excitement in owning a place of this size, and not growing up into a small town. Was, I guess you call it, you didn't know much about this stuff until you got out. So moved to Alberta, bought this acreage here, and decided to give a little go at being a little bit self-sufficient. When I grew up back in Newfoundland, we were self-sufficient. We had to be, and we were isolated on little tiny communities and stuff like that. So coming here to a place where there's lots of room, great soil and stuff, so we decided to try our hand into homesteading and living a simple life. So we start building and start growing, and from there, over the last 8 years, we've developed this place we have here, and made some fields and cleared some land. We built a meat shop. This is our meat cutting shop in here. Still newly built. We have to get siding and stuff put on this summer, but right now it's all set up and certified through the government to process on-farm slaughter here at the farm. So that was a big step ahead for us here at the farm. We built the big shop here for maintenance on tractors and stuff, and being able to keep up with that stuff was great. It's a great shed, not insulated, but really do the trick here, and keeping everything in order, storage, stuff like that. So that's another building that we did build after we bought this place. We decided to get into sheep farming. We crunched a few numbers with cows, cattle, and with sheep, and not ever farming before. Running cows was a little bit intimidating for us, I guess you call it. We being around those big animals and stuff like that was a little scary, I guess you'd say, starting out. So we decided to go with sheep, a little bit easier to handle. Still didn't know nothing about sheep farming or any of the animals, so we just learned from YouTube, which hopefully you'll learn something here too as well, and just by friends, neighbors, and stuff like that. We have some good neighbors around here that we come to know since we bought this place, and they helped us a lot, I gotta say. They did. We have some great neighbors here with cattle and stuff, so we learned from them. But we took the leap and jump into outside of our realm, for sure, to develop this, and it's been going great, I must say. We really enjoy it. We do work full-time off the farm as well, so running everything here is a little hard on that end too as well. But slowly we build this entire place up, and hopefully build some more over the next few years. We do currently have only like 50 sheep here now. We did have 100. We cut the herd back because it was getting a little too busy, so we cut it back to 50. And we've been lambing here now for the last, I guess, 5 years. So we've been playing with it, getting a feel for it, seeing how it works, and it's been fun. So I think we're thinking about moving forward, and over the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to be ramping up into hopefully to the 300 head mark into lamb. So we'll go into the barn and stuff here and feed. Most of the time we're just feeding by hand out of a bucket. We're not feeding with the tractor. We bought this tractor, I guess, 5 years ago, and boy, oh boy, has that ever been a great piece of equipment. We bought it new, and yeah, it's great. We cut our hay with this. We do all the raking, baling, all with the tractor. And right now we do have a log winch on it, and this log winch, we cut logs all winter in the back field, and we mill it. All the buildings you see around here, like this, is all lumber that we mill ourselves on our sawmill. We're on to our second sawmill now. We have one wore out, so this is just lumber that we saw off the property and cut ourselves. This is the 7060 Kubota, 71 horsepower. It's perfect for us. It's enough horsepower for what we're doing right now. A little bit disappointed that we never took the leap into a cab, because here in Alberta, that minus 30s and 40s sometimes that we hit, be nice to be in a cab for sure. And in the summertime it do get really hot too as well, so be nice to have a cab and the air conditioning. So come along, we'll talk about what's going on here and into the barn, and we'll get some couple buckets filled, and we'll feed some sheep. Just got a little bit of grain here in this bag here that we just use as treats. They have plenty of food, so and we find by giving them a few treats, they're easier to handle. You can just whistle and call them and they'll come running most of the time, and makes it a lot easier when it comes to sorting and managing the sheep. So we'll get them coming. Some of them are here, the bucket rattling now. We'll drop some feed in the feeder here, and you can see. And these sheep are not purebreds, but we're getting pretty close here. These are North Country Cheviots that we've picked out the best out of the under that we had when we dropped the herd down to 50. We picked the 50 of the best and kept those, and then got rid of the rest. And this is the little herd that we're left with. We did manage to pick up a few little goats too, and these are ones that we process. We feed out here. It's only 5, I think, that will stick around as breeders. The rest will butcher. But yeah, those North Country Cheviot sheep have really performed for us, so that's why we went with them. The cold weather, you can see the snow on them. It snowed 2 days ago, and the snow was still on their backs. You can see here, snow is still sitting, so they don't lose their eat very well, very easy. So they do really well, I must say. Lambing is pretty much a breeze. We hardly ever have any trouble. The only time we do is when we have a scatter ewe lamb, a new one that's lambing. We usually keep a close eye on them, but for the most part, we hardly ever have to bother with them. So they look really good too as well. These are all bred now. So these will be lambing here in another 3 months. So hopefully it does good, and knock on wood, we don't have any more trouble. You know, it's livestock, so you do have some trouble. Can't get away from it. And here's our mascot. This is Frisco. It's the donkey that we purchased a while back, and we've had her ever since. And she don't let you fool around with her too much, but she's not that wild either. So she stays with the sheep and the goats and guard them from the coyotes. The last few days we've had coyotes in the yard here, and nothing inside the fence. So she's well worth her weight in gold for us. We'll grab another bucket and we'll head down. So now these sheep and goats are really going to want to tackle me, as they like that oats and barley. But we'll head down to the cows, give them a little treat here. And they know what's coming too. They're just waiting. So these cows, we purchased 2 of these cows 3 years ago. These are part Simmental, and they were pretty quiet. We picked them up off a farmer. What happened for them to get rid of them was there wasn't anything wrong with them. They just didn't fit the program. The bull got out way too early into these, and then the calving season were kind of mixed up for these two. So he didn't want to keep them and calve out when he did. So it was good for us. We picked up the 2 not far from here. So, and then these are the calves off these. So the one in the back, the red one, that's this one's calf from last year. That's an heifer. So she's bred back. Well, we don't calve until about last of June, 1st of July. So, and these 2 speckles, they are part speckle because we put those cows in with a speckle park bull. These are 2 calves we got off those 2. These are part speckle. They were born in July. So these 2 are 2 steers, and we'll end up butchering both of these next winter. So around November or so is usually when the weather gets cold. That's when we usually butcher the cows. So these 2 will be in the butcher shop next fall. So we'll throw out some feed for these. And they're not bad. They're not tame, but they'll let you scrub them down. We don't spend too much time with them. We let them do their thing. Leave them alone. Low maintenance. Vaccinate every so often, and that's pretty much it. They're easy keepers. So it's been good for us. Great learning. We learn off these because they're so easy to handle. So we keep them separate down here in this little pen away from the sheep because they're just big bullies. They push the sheep away from their food and stuff when we feed at the barn up there like we just did, that they push the sheep out of the feeder and that. So we kept them separate and has been good. So we'll keep it that way. We'll keep here now until the green grass starts coming. Then we'll pull the calves off. We'll send the calves up the neighbors to, he's got a big grazing area, so we'll graze up on his property with the 2 calves. We'll keep the other 3 here on the property and we'll let them calve out. Once they calve out here where it's nice and calm and we can handle the calves, then once the calves are up and going, then we'll take all 3 of them, carry up to the neighbors and put on his pasture and with his bull up there, so they'll be bred back again for us to bring back next winter, next fall. So that's usually how we do it. He comes, our neighbor comes and cuts our field for us. Sometimes we have way more hay than we need, so we'll get him to come and cut hay and take the hay. We'll give it to him for letting us pasture and breed the cows. So that works really good for us. So in the last 3 years, we got a well put in, which is the new little building over on the hill there, little bank there. That's the pump house. So there is a well here. It's all plumbed in with heat trace and water lines to the heated water bowls. So these are the heated water bowls that we turn on. We have power on the poles, keeps power to keep those heated and keep them warm. And then we slowly growing, and we know that we want to get those 300 sheep. So what we've been doing is slowly building the infrastructure around to meet that for the time frame we have. So we're figuring at another 3 years, we should be up to 300 lambs. So we took this section and made this into just pens, and more or less, I guess you call it just separation pens. Being able to separate. The donkey's getting excited there. So yeah, likes to squeal. But yeah, these are the separation pens. We'll run them down this alleyway and separate them, open up the gates, separate whatever we need. So if we're going to wean lambs or calves, whatever, we got something to separate them into different pens. All of these pens, there will be 4 of these, 3 right now, but there will be 4. They'll all have heated water bowls in them. So we have a water line that runs from that one all the way up into this water bowl here. This one's not running now because we didn't send any water from that one all the way up because we don't use this up here yet. So the water is cut off there at that one. So we only have water at that one. But this is the other water bowl, and then we have water running from that one all the way up into the barn. So those water feeders are split in half. So we have the fence running right on top of them, so they can drink from each pen, both sides. We do have a shelter in this one. It'll be a shelter put in each one of these, all the way up through. This pen here, this one is going to be split. We're going to split this one again. And the frame you see over there with the gate, that's the place that we had to build for the butcher shop. So in order to get the inspection and all that certified through the government, then we had to have a separate place to hold the animal, to clean it. And we dispatch the animal here in this pen, and then we take them in here and we hang them in the hooks there, hang them up, and that's where we do the processing right there, just gut them and clean them up. We had to put in a cement pad and a winch to hoist. We could have got by with the tractor, but we decided that that would be a more cleaner, more efficient way to do it. So that's why we went ahead and built that too. So that worked really well this year, and all we need is just a good garden hose and spray the area down and clean it up and sanitize it. And then up here in this corner is where we built the handling system for the sheep. We looked at a lot of handling systems, and we came home and decided to build our own. It's not the best thing in the world, I'm going to say, but it works for us quite fine. Both of us can run sheep through here, run the 50 sheep through here in just a breeze. So all we purchased here was just this tip table here from a company here in Alberta, Zubat. They build sheep equipment. We purchased it from them. Great little system. Doesn't have the roller ones, but it works great for us. Just pull it in, nips them in, tips down. You can tip them over and do their feet. In here, I build my own weight scales. In here, this is just elevated here, so when the sheep come in, we close the 2 doors, and then we can weigh them with the weight scales here. And these are just alleyways for them to come in through, so you can handle them and get at them, vaccinate, tag, and so on. This is the sorter. Just something simple. So we fence this off. We have a gate out there. We fence this off, so if we got to separate going to the sale, whatever, then we'll just separate as they come in. Let the ones go we're keeping. The ones go out that we're getting rid of. Very simple but effective system. Maybe down the road, yeah, we'll go and invest in something more convenient. But for now, this will get us by for the next few years. Up here is I'll step in over here and show you how this thing works. But this is just a crowding tub, basically, I guess you want to call it, that we made ourselves. Just made up a system, just seen it online and made up a system. So we'll run the sheep in through here. They actually come from the barn door over on this side. They come from the barn door, they come all the way up along the fence, and they come out through the small door. So they're all in here. And then we just round them up, get them in here in this corner here. Once they see the opening, they'll want to go anyway. And then we'll just run them right in there. This thing here, a turn right around. If I can pull it out, there's a lot of ice there, but this will just swing right around. And it just goes all the way around. I can push them right all the way down. And works great, I must say. It's a little bit of time, a little bit of steel and welding up the frame, and worked okay. We also run the cows out through here too. Just we keep this little door closed on this side over here, and they run right out into the head gate out there. The big head gate. Yeah, it works pretty good for us. Save us a lot of money. And in the winter time when it's cold, like now it's minus 18 right now, but when it's cold and you're in the shop, and you can build this stuff in the middle of the winter when it's a bit slow, so take advantage of that all the time. Right now we're in the shop building a grain bin for pig feed, because we have 8 pigs coming in another couple months, 3 months, so looking forward to that too. We have 8 pigs that next fall we'll be able to butcher again as well. But yeah, that's where we're to. This is where we winter the sheep all winter in here in this place we feed the bales. Just bring the bales in and let them heat away. We have lots of hay, so we let them gorge into it and use as much as they need. That's our setup. This barn is one we built 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, I think it's 5 years ago we built this. And again, milled all the lumber on the mill. This is a 30 by 80. Few things I'd change now, knowing what I know. Didn't build it high enough or with a steep enough roof on it, because the snow doesn't want to come off it. So thankfully we don't get never got a lot of snow this year. So sometimes we have to clean the roof off this too as well. And starting this summer, we're going to be building another barn, same size, just a little higher. This one's going to be, I think, 16 feet in the center. And that one's going right here side by this one. And then we'll end up fencing this off here, and that'll be the place for the chickens to graze and run in the summertime. So that's where we are, and that's how we came here. That's what our plan is. Trying to stick to the plan, trying to be as efficient as we can, not rely on all the politics stuff, but we pretty self-sufficient here, I must say. Works really well for us, really enjoying it. And it goes to show that you don't need to grow up into farming. You don't need to have a big background in farming to have something like this. We started out with nothing, not even a tractor. I didn't even know how to drive a tractor. I never sat in the seat of one. But you know, you learn. If you want to learn, you'll learn. That's just the way it is. If you're interested in it, you'll learn it. Every day is a new thing. You're learning all the time, but you if you got the mind to do it, you will do it. That's for sure. Take some time. You're going to get roadblocks. There's lots of times we'll have to take some time and we'll just sit down and go through everything and just say, no, we made a bad decision on this. We'll learn from it and move on. Because if you sit down and ponder over it and get upset over it, then you ain't going to do much. So yeah, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. I guess that's it for now. Stay tuned. We'll show you more stuff around the farm as it happens, and hopefully you'll learn with us and help somebody, and hopefully some of the mistakes we make that you don't end up making, if this is something that you enjoy and want to do. It's a lot of people doing this kind of stuff nowadays, and it's very relaxing. I must say, it's busy. It's long days, hard work, but when you look out here and you can see this and you wake up in the morning, it's all worthwhile. So thanks for watching, guys, and please stay tuned. Just like the videos, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment and help us out here on the farm.